this as President Donald Trump has now issued a strong criticism of the Russian President Vladimir Putin over the ongoing war in Ukraine, calling for the conflict as the biggest since World War II. Now, speaking on the scale and the duration of the war, Trump says that it should have ended quickly, claiming that Putin is now losing millions of soldiers in what he described as the biggest in the terms of deaths. He has also expressed personal disappointment with how the conflict has unfolded, contrasting it with his own record by stating that he has just settled 8 wars during his presidency. Trump also made the reference between India and Pakistan tension, saying that the relationship had great potential for peace during his term, and now he has urged Putin to bring the war with Ukraine to an end, stressing that conflict must be resolved to prevent further loss and instability.
Look, I'm very disappointed because Vladimir and I had a very good relationship, probably still do. I don't know why he continues with this war. This war has been so bad for him. He's going into 4 years of a war that should have he should have won that war in 1 week. He's now going to soon be into his 4th year. He's lost 1.5 million soldiers, probably, close. Certainly in terms of wounded and no legs and no arms and all the things that happen in horrible wars. It's a horrible war. That's the biggest thing that's happened since World War II in terms of death. It's bigger than any of them. I settled 8 of them. The biggest is that in terms of death. Incredible. I think India, Pakistan had great potential. We did a great job in that one, but he's got to really settle this war.
Well, Shinjoy is connected with us. Shinjoy, good morning. Another mention of India-Pakistan, though he could have made an actual mention of Gaza war, which Donald Trump could be actually given that kind of credit for brokering peace. But Donald Trump's comments coming ahead of a scheduled meeting with Ukrainian President Zelensky as well, which is expected to focus on his continued support to Kyiv.
Yes, as far as President Trump is concerned as Ukraine, he has been strong on Ukraine and then less so. And now he is really pushing and supporting Ukraine at this point. He makes a mention of casualties that the Russians have suffered. He says that the Russians have suffered more than 1 million casualties. That would be dead and wounded over the 3 years. Well, as far as that is concerned, according to Western analysts, the Russians are losing 1,000 soldiers every week. So that's a lot of casualties. The Ukrainians have also suffered serious casualties over 3 years. And according to estimates, over 1 million casualties can be looked at. Russian in Ukraine, dead and wounded, it adds up to 1 million casualties. That's a lot of casualties, a lot of people, a lot of losses. So President Trump is saying this war should have ended. Of course, he has said in the past that if he were president, this war would not have begun. And he would end it in 1 day. But the war continues. And as he said, he's disappointed with Vladimir Putin. He's disappointed that this war is going on. And, of course, obliquely, he mentions India and Pakistan all over again.
Yes.
But the Russia-Ukraine war is really the main one.
Yes.
And as he rightly says, there have been
huge
even the
casualties. Recent, Alaska summit did not yield any results there. However, he says he's disappointed with President Putin and hopes that their relationship at fathers being on good terms continues. Please do stay on with us.